not to be emotional about it.
Mhm.
It's when that emotion gets out of the right perspective from logic, right? Like I tell people, I'm not a pessimist, I'm not an optimist, I'm a realist. And you need to be a realist in business, right? I think like people like to say that they're optimistic, but you can be so optimistic that you ignore the facts,
Yeah.
right? And so when I hear people say, I love these products so much, I would consume them, or I would do this even if I didn't get paid one penny, and then 30 days later they're gone. You're like, what happened? You were so passionate about it. So that wasn't actually true. So that's why I don't lead with the product and I don't lead with the business. I lead with financial education because
Yeah.
financial education will lead with sustainability. Financial education will open up your eyes to the realities of how to build a business. It'll have you pay attention to um, running it like a real business.
Mhm.
Financial education will also attract people that are career minded in this industry and not people that are hobby minded,
Mhm.
right? Hobbyists take money out of your pocket. Businesses will put money in your pocket when you pay attention, especially when you run it like a real business, and that's one of the downfalls of every industry, but especially in network marketing when that is out of when it's out of perspective. You can't build a business on emotion. If you do, you have a strong check for 6 months, but rah and emotionalism will only take you so far, and then people begin to lose the tools and the mechanics that will keep them having a sustainable check, right? Like I believe in hitting rank and keeping rank. I don't believe in your check going all over the place.
Mhm.
Hit rank, keep rank, go to the next rank. Hit rank, keep rank, go to the next rank. Only financial education will do that. If you let financial education, be the mentor and not emotionalism be the mentor, or just the product be the mentor, um, then you will have a sustainable business that's squared up. You won't have to continue to look for other businesses. And I know this because I've been a part of that. I've been a victim of that in the past. Um, and that was tough because we didn't have social platforms, we didn't have social networks, right, like we have today. And I used to have to live on the road in order to continue to layer the education. So I could only see a city once every 3 months because my business was 20 million plus in distributorship. And so I couldn't be everywhere at once. Now technology allows us to do this, to where we're able to establish the education through the business school every night of the week if we want to.
Yeah. So, what does it look like practically in a person's business when they need to start looking at, I've led too much with emotion, maybe logic should start taking over? And what are the consequences that they may walk through if they continue to lead with emotion?
Well, because people can only stay excited about a thing for so long without making money,
Mhm.
they will vote with their feet and they'll leave, they'll walk. Um, the mechanics and the tools that are necessary to keep a duplicatable system going need to be in place. Again, that's why the business school is so valuable. If they just stay on that emotional high and they continue to bring people in with emotion, um, uh, it's almost misleading, because this is what emotion says: get in now, hurry up, there's 1,000 people underneath me, and I've only been in for a month. Well,
Mhm.
that'll spike your check, um, but and it's blinding, and it'll bite you in your blind spot soon after, because you haven't led with that real education. You're not giving your team the ability to um, convey a message, or uh, articulate a message, or communicate a message of the industry or the brand. And that's absolutely necessary. They need to be able to communicate the industry through financial education. Otherwise, they're going to attract the wrong people that actually live their life emotionally, and that's why they're unstable in many ways, because they're not operating on a strong foundation, right? The mechanics have nothing to do with emotion. You cannot stay with emotion. Now, it's a part of it, right? It's tough not to be emotional about changing your life. And that's very attractive. We're emotional beings. It's part of who we are. But when you're building a business for the long haul, there are things that need to be in place in order to continue to bring in, a solid paycheck. And you need to produce leaders. Emotion won't produce leaders, right? Mentorship is very
Mhm.
valuable because it brings you the real rigors of business, the real understanding of how to build this business, how to communicate it, how to have vision, how to overcome your fear, um, how to introduce the compensation plan and talk about it. Those mechanics are very important, right? Keeping your eyes on what's happening in the trends in the world today, the looking at learning to see the value of things that are happening, disruptions in the marketplace, and then looking at what we do and seeing how similar it is and being able to communicate that, being able to talk to a small business owner that may have 10 or 15 restaurants, has money in no time, or a mortgage broker or a real estate broker or somebody who's owned traditional business for long periods of time. How do you talk to a person like that through a language of business that would get them to bring in their influence and their network and their career mindset and stay? They don't respond to emotionalism. People that don't know the difference respond to emotionalism, right? How many times have we heard in this business, um, get in now, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. So, you know who falls victim to once in a lifetime opportunities? People that don't know the difference. People that know business seek wonderful opportunities 3 times a week because they have eyes to see, because they have the financial education to see it, they have the rigors of business and the experience to see it. They rely on the mechanics, they don't rely on emotions. That's why they have people follow them, they're throughout their careers, because they're the no nonsense type of person. When they make a qualified decision, they stay. And in network marketing, you need more people that are coming in and staying in than are coming and going. That's the problem. Okay. There's too many revolving doors that are out there.
Yeah.
So retention is super powerful. If you don't pay
Yeah.
attention to retention, if you don't pay attention to that, to retention, then you're never going to be truly satisfied, and you can't build brick upon brick.
Right. And you talked earlier about, bringing people in that are career minded and people that have influence and a network. And that happens, and you've referenced several times, the financial education that you lead with in our business school. Um, and my personal benefit from that is that it gives a neutral ground to talk business with anybody. We're not talking about products. We're not talking about how people feel. We're talking about numbers, and those are non-disputable. We're talking about business trends and market trends. Those aren't things that can be argued. And when you present that to someone who does have a career in mind, they're able to look at our company versus whatever company they're in more objectively and say, okay, if I get paid, this for this in one business and 3 times more for the same thing in another business, which is a better financial choice? And that makes it very easy for them. So, what do you think objectively about Vistayo is attracting leaders from, like, big leaders from popular companies? What's going on there?
Well, we have a company that's disrupting the supplement industry. Right? When you look at Uber and how they're disrupting the taxi industry, Airbnb is disrupting the hotel industry, Amazon is interrupting the department store industry. Viseo is starting to become a disruption in the supplement industry because We offer 80 to 100% absorption with all of our products, right? We have products that work, products that you absorb, right? It's not a waste of money. People spend $100 on products in the supplement industry, but only 15% absorption. That means they're getting $15 in value, but paying 100, right? Consumers are getting more and more educated. They don't want that. So we have that to offer. We have a founder, multiple founders. We have three of them, but the first one is Dallin Larson. He is the original founder of this company, and he's made a habit of building billion-dollar companies. He's done it 2 other times. That's significant. And he focuses on people. And then the byproduct is those people end up making a lot of money. That's why I wanted to be a part of that. I love people. I build the person, and the person builds the business. I believe in that. And so does he. So it's a safe place to bring your network. Okay. So we have a wonderful cause. We have a wonderful compensation plan. We have a wonderful culture. All those things that we have vision. We did 49 million our first year in business. 49 million, that doesn't happen. That shows you though that these are the first fruits of what a disruption begins to look like. But aside from that, I can't speak to all of that or why Viseo, because what I pay attention to more of, even more than Viseo, is our business school and why we're having a significant result. Our team is quite unique because of our retention. I know I keep going like this, but because I don't want people to feel like you can step into any team in Viseo and get the same result. That would not be true. We're producing leader back by leader back by leader on our team because we lead with financial education, right? And I won't be redundant there, but I have to make sure that I continue to communicate that because, not all teams are the same, right?
Right. That's true.
But I came out of retirement. It's very true, right? But I came out of retirement to align myself with Viseo because Dallin and Daniel and Dan Zhu, they understand. Dan Zhu completely understands the Asian market. Those are the deep water markets you want to build in Asia eventually. Deep water markets are very valuable in this industry. Dan understands that. Daniel Piku has built several multi-million dollar tech companies, right? He doesn't need to be here. He's made hundreds of millions. He's already got that, right? But so you need to and he understands the online industry. That's very valuable in this. And then you have Dallin Larson, who has earned the Ernst & Young Award, Entrepreneur of the Year Award, and that's the same award that they gave Jeff Bezos, who started Amazon, which will be our first $1 trillion company, right? Howard Schultz of Starbucks received that. Michael Dell of Dell Computers received that. So he's in good company. And there's been 42,000 network marketing companies that have been launched since the year 2000, and only 11 of them have hit $1 billion in sales. And Dallin's been a huge part of that twice. So that's why I'm here. It's a safe place for people to bring their networks, but specifically to our team.
Yeah, and that's a great point that you make, because the leadership, as going back to the beginning of this video to make it full circle, the leadership matters. And what you're surrounded by, anyone in this industry has heard, the 5 people you're around the most are what you become. And when you are being poured into with this kind of information and the knowledge and the encouragement from a logical standpoint, that carries you through the rigors of business. That carries you through the disappointments and the frustrations, because everybody has them. It doesn't matter what company you're with or what rank you're at. We all have those, but it's how you walk through those and how you come out the other side, because it's not just about leading a massive team. It's about leading yourself and that discipline, because the leadership that you see is the leadership that you will have. And if you can't lead yourself well, then you can't lead a team. And I see so many people with so much potential stay stuck because they can't break out of that emotional leadership and into effective mentorship. So Rick, just before I let you go, I know you're with Presley, so I don't want to take up too much of your time, but
I have plenty of time. We're good. Mhm.
Okay. Okay, what is going on with Viseo right now? What's exciting about it in just like two sentences?
Okay. Yes. Well, I'm gonna take 10 minutes
Take your
because
time.
we
I'm
have a
gonna
lot to be excited about. All right. So we have a lot to be excited about. You have a company, and we talked about the founders. We have a company that did 12 million in its first month, did 49 million in its first year. We're in the 19th month now, um, and we are in 12 different countries in pre-launch. We